Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. If you do not know me, my name is Kayla Rundle. Today I'm going to change it up. I am a car channel. I showcase my Camaro and my 240 and my Civic. I started social media back in November of 2020 and I have now blown up. So I wanted to share with you guys all of my tips, tricks, and everything I do to basically get your Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, everything popping, everything where you want it to be, and all the tips and tricks on how it's done. So to kick it off, I want to lay it down straight to you guys. If you guys do want to get into social media, you do have to be aware of the consequences. The privacy does go down a little bit, so just be careful of sharing personal information and make sure your self-confidence is pretty much there, because there can be a lot of haters. So be aware of what's coming, be in the right mental state. And social media does take a lot of time. It looks easy from the outside, but it is a lot harder than what you think it is. For today, I am in Newport Beach. I made a whole list on this napkin of everything I want to say in this video. I decided I want to push my social media because nobody was taking me seriously. I wanted companies to recognize me. I wanted people to answer my DMs when I DM whoever I wanted. I wanted answers. You have to find a niche for your account. You can't just be posting random stuff across your whole page, because you want to have something that people will come back to you for a certain reason and to watch you and to learn from. You have to look at it from a business perspective. I don't know if you guys take business classes, but everything you do is very business oriented. I'm a business minor from the University of Oregon, if you did not know. You have to figure out your audience. Who do you want to attract to your page, and what are you going to offer them? I wanted all the automotive related content on my page. I named my Instagram my full name, Kayla Rundle. Some people choose to name their Instagrams like Camaro Girl or LSX something, or something car related. I wanted my name to be pushed. I wanted myself to be known. I didn't want my car to be known, even though my car is what got me famous, basically. But now I have my Civic and I have my 240, so I am gonna keep with the automotive content, but also show multiple cars rather than just being Camaro only. That way I can get to a larger audience rather than just having the little GM Chevy group with the Camaros. I want also to grab the JDM, also the Honda, the Nissan, and the Camaro, which is all the muscle car groups. Once you figure out your business, your plan, your niche, if you want to stay car related, if you want to just do Camaros, if you just want to do JDM, why you are doing this, you have to have a motivation. You can't just be like, oh, I want to be big on Instagram. You have to have a bigger goal, right? So I wanted to build my cars. Yes, I wanted free parts, but nothing's free. It comes with a lot of work. You have to push businesses, you have to help everybody out. The biggest thing is also the personality. If you guys are also wanting to get into YouTube, it is huge on personality. I know a lot of Instagram people, they stay small because they are afraid to go out in public. They're afraid to talk to people. That does limit you. When you go, make everybody your friend, comment back to people, DM people back, be super friendly, your account will get larger because everyone will start talking about you and be like, wow, she or he is really nice. Like, I want to go follow them. So on Instagram, when you make a profile, it is just a basic profile. You can make it private or public. I recommend, if you want to gain followers, make your account public. When it's private, people can't see what your account is about. It doesn't get much engagement because it is private. Nobody's going to see it. I know that sounds really basic, but a lot of people don't know that. So change it to public. You'll get a lot more followers a lot faster. And also, you can change your account into a business account, and then that way, after a few days, after you go through the steps that Instagram tells you to do, you'll be able to see your analytics, which is also very important, because then you'll get to understand what posts do good, what part of the post is doing good, what is your audience, their age range, what you have to keep doing, everything. You'll see what times of days to post, which is really interesting. There is seriously so many things I want to go over. I could talk about this forever. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys want to hear or understand more, because I have so many tips and tricks that I've learned since the start of this. I'll start off, when you're going to post a picture, yes, it's different depending on what kind of page you have. I am just giving this information based off of what does good for me. When I'm going to post a picture, I always make sure it's squared, but if it's completely squared when you post it, that's the way people are going to see it on the Explore page, and that's the way they're going to see it on your page and when they're scrolling. So it's all the same. When you're posting it squared, it is a lot easier to make it centered as well. With the car content, the photos that do the best for me are the photos with the car completely centered. Actually, my most liked photos are with not me in it. My most liked photos and the ones with the most engagement are literally my cars just fully centered in the image. You do want to get pretty professional like content. You don't want to take an iPhone shot from an eye perspective, on your car. I recommend like getting low, getting different perspectives that you don't normally see. You want it to stand out. You do want contrast. Color, it depends like what your content is, but color works for me really, really well because color does stand out when you're scrolling on the Explore feed. You see color pop out. You want to see contrast. You want to be able to hold your phone way, way, way far away from you and be able to see exactly what the photo is. If you can't tell a lot of like the hues and colors and mixed together, it won't grab as much attention from like an audience when there's someone just scrolling on the feed. You do want the person to spend a long time on your photo as well. So you do want to post an interesting caption. So in my caption, you can post a question because the more comments you get, the more engagement you get. If you post a question in your caption, it usually feeds in more comments. If people comment with words like more than 4 or 5 words in the comments, Instagram realizes that and they will push it further in the algorithm. Research pages that are doing really, really good, usually with millions of followers, or you can even look into hashtags. Go to the top posts, research like why is this post doing so good. You can see when you go to hashtags, you can search it in your search bar. If you go to the hashtags itself, it'll show the top posts that are doing the best. You can usually like tell that they're all kind of similar. They're usually colorful, a lot of contrast. Things are usually centered, interesting, makes you look at it for a while. You basically take those posts and you can copy them. You don't want to copy someone's content, but you can do something similar. So when I did my research, I noticed with the cars, like everything that is doing good is pretty much centered. It's a lot of contrast. I'm gonna say contrast a lot. You want the photo to pop. It's usually the car. There's something different about the car. If it's stock, it doesn't bring as much attention, but you can make a stock car look really, really good. And if you're a Photoshop wizard like I am, you can take a stock car and slam it on the ground, brighten up the wheels, and everybody will like it. So when you're going to post an image, other than it just being centered and be colorful and have contrast, you do want to use every single feature that Instagram gives you. So they have a location feature. For me, I usually just plug in whatever location the photo looks like, even though it's not necessarily taken there, because when you select locations on your post, that photo will show up in the location. So when people look up locations of wherever they're at, your photo will pop up. You should include hashtags and tags in your post. In the beginning of my Instagram, I used to put the hashtags in the comment section of my photo. So I would make my post and then put a whole brick of hashtags. I think you can use like 20 to 25 hashtags. The best way to do the hashtags is if you guys have an iPhone, I literally have everything in the notes of my iPhone. It's in my notes section and I just write out every single caption in there, because then you can space it out perfectly in how you want. And then you can just copy and paste it over and use the same hashtags on every single post, and it'll save you a lot of time. If you're wondering on how to find hashtags, your best bet is to go look at really popular pages, popular posts, copy their hashtags, see what they're using, see what's working, and use those hashtags on your post. You don't want to be using the same hashtags every single post. You do want to change it up a little bit because it will bring in different audiences in. As a joke, I use a ton of Mustang hashtags. Now I have all these Mustang followers, and they're following the Camaro page. So yeah, just change it up every once in a little bit. I am an automotive page, so I'll do like hashtag Camaro SS, hashtag car girl, hashtag muscle car, like hashtag classic muscle car, hashtag Chevy Camaro, hashtag Chevy. All those hashtags, you could come up with a billion. People do recommend you to find hashtags that have lower number of uses. When you type in the hashtag, it'll tell you how many posts there are that use those, that are public. The ones that have like 2-3 mil or more, usually don't do as good because so many people are using those hashtags that your post will get lost. So in the beginning, I do recommend to use hashtags that are littler. So around like 10K to 100K, which doesn't seem small, but it is small. I recommend using those in the beginning if you're smaller, because then your post will stand out within the 50 that get posted within that day rather than the thousands that get posted in that day. Also, when you're about to post, you do want to tag relevant accounts in your photo, maximum up to 20 accounts in your page. Every single time I tag 20 accounts, no less. That means your photo will pop up on their tagged images on their page. So if they're larger pages that are related to your content and what you're posting, people will go into there and look at your stuff as well and find you through their big pages. So I usually find pages that are related to my content, so I will tag every single big Camaro account I can, and I can also tag all the performance parts on my car and companies that I work with. And when it comes to posting itself, you do want to be very consistent with your posts. Once you get a business account, you will be able to see your analytics, and you'll be able to see what times a day that your post does the best. Mine do the best on weekdays. They don't do good on weekends. I don't know why, but that's just how it works. So I usually try to post 5 days a week on the weekdays around 5 p.m. Arizona time, if not a little earlier. If I post midday or morning, they usually don't do as good. You can see this in the analytics. It'll tell you what time of day most of your followers are on their accounts. With Instagram, it's just a lot of figuring out on how things work. You can also make a separate Instagram account to see what your like aesthetic looks like. For me, I've learned that aesthetics don't really do anything for my page. People also think that they have to hire professional photographers to make their account look professional and to get more shares. There's this thing, it's called color psychology. For my page, I picked like basically 4 colors that do the best. So my car is sand, so I always have to do sand. And I also want black, and I also like teal because my brake calipers are teal. So I try to make sky tones teal. And I also make the shadows purple. Like when you're in the Instagram app, I do purple shadows to make it more colorful. And I also do yellow or orange highlights in the post. That way the car gets a lot more colorful, the blacks turn more to a purplish hue, and the bright white colors turn more yellowish and orange. And I also keep the warmth high. My whole feed is going to be pretty warm, and so it's all that kind of sand color as a whole, and it all mixes together. It also helps that I'm in Arizona, so it's not like I'm taking pictures with a ton of green trees. It's all desert and warm, which helps overall. I also recommend, if you do get a photographer to take pictures of your car for you and they're posting you or they give you photos to post, always make sure to tag them. It is someone else's work. If they took the photo, tag them, give them credit. In return, they will probably repost the photo, which will also help your account. You do not want to be that person that does not give another person credit. You can also post your friends, If you post other people, it helps other people grow as well if you're doing good. Even if you're not doing good. Like my post was not, my page was like very, very little. I had a few thousand followers. Raquel posted me. I started posting her, me and her talked. She helped me grow a ton. So that was extremely helpful. And now I post smaller accounts, other girls. Be supportive. You are a leader in the community if you're larger on social media. Be nice to others. Post other people's stuff that you see that people are working hard on, and in return it will come back to you. Karma always comes back. You also have to pay attention to your stories. Like I said, we want to use every feature possible on Instagram. A few people have said like, oh, just post a few times a day. I've realized that if you post a ton, it does good, which is a lot of work, and it has to be quality. You should post around 10 to 15 stories per day, even on the days that you're not even making posts. Because I realize as soon as my stories disappear, if I don't have one story within 24 hours, my engagement plummets. Bad. My next post won't do as good. If I'm focusing on other life things and don't post anything on Instagram, literally I will just start losing followers so freaking fast. Instagram does have polls. They could do like questions. There's this question feature that you can ask people a question and they can type in the answer, and then you can see it when you press on your stories, like what people respond. If your content is not doing good, you can start doing a lot of those, and all of a sudden my views will go from 2,000 to seriously 6,000 because I'm posting 30-40 stories in that day. When I post meets on my story, there are several people that keep watching my story because then that's how they figure out when the meets are. So I'm just like a source of people who's like, oh, when is the next car show? Let me check Kayla's story, which also brings engagement because people are looking me up more often because they know I'm consistent and I will be posting what meets will happen every single week, which also in return makes the pages that post those meets, I help them grow, and then they usually repost me on their stories, which also helps me grow as well. Another hack is for Instagram, what grows the best is if you have multiple platforms. So I have Instagram and I have TikTok and I have YouTube. My Facebook is more personal. TikTok really right now is bringing over a ton of followers for me. I don't post on TikTok a ton. I feel like I should. It'll probably bring the following, a lot more following over to my page. TikTok's brought me over thousands and thousands. So when I post on TikTok, it does bring it over to Instagram. People think it works like that for YouTube as well. YouTube, in my personal experience, has been the complete opposite. YouTube is its own segment. Like TikTok and Instagram, they kind of work together. YouTube, it's got its whole audience. It's got its own thing. Hardest platform to grow on. YouTube is super difficult. So my trick for YouTube was I filmed 5 videos before I even posted one. I would watch these videos over and over again, overthink. I wanted multiple videos. If you post one video, you know that you're not probably gonna be posting the second one for weeks. So if you're starting YouTube and you wanna be serious about it, have multiple videos lined up, be ready, post them all at once. I posted, I think, 2 videos the first night, and I posted 3, 4, 5, all in the same week, 5 videos. Soon as I got those 5 videos out in the same week, all of a sudden, my name appeared on the homepage of everyone's YouTube. You're like, whoa, where did this girl come from? She's brand new. She's been posting every day. This is huge. I get 1,000 followers within the first few weeks on YouTube because I did that. You have to have content then that is also related within your channel. You don't want to just be posting random videos on all different outsources. If you are doing vlog style, the one thing that I always tell people is hold the camera up here. You want to hold it high so people know what they're looking at. If you hold it down here, it's just not as confident. And then when you're walking in, like the audience knows if you're holding the camera down here that you're not as confident. If you're holding it up here, walking, being confident, talking to the camera, the audience will see that and love it. I try to do that from the beginning. Obviously, there's a lot of growth that I have to make and then I will continue to make, but it does make a big difference in your videos. Oh, I got a lot of questions about the tags on YouTube as well. In the beginning, I didn't use any tags and my post blew up. I used 0 tags. I don't know why it worked like that, but 0 tags. I just posted, I did a thumbnail. I do everything on Photoshop, which I do know Photoshop pretty well from what I do. So definitely put a lot of focus in your thumbnail. Really think through your title. You want to make a title that revolves around your audience. You don't want to be like, I'm in California. Be like, the top 5 car shows in California. The title makes the biggest thing. The more click, the better. You also want to have like a bigger click-through rate. Then again, I can go into a full video just on YouTube alone. There's so much to it. I also recommend you don't want to be reposting the same content on all 3 platforms. I see a lot of people doing that. Instagram is picking up on if you repost your TikToks into your Reels on Instagram, they won't push them as much. If you do all different content, it'll really do well, and then it'll also give your followers a reason to follow you on multiple platforms. Like, figure out what you want to do, be who you are, and share it to the world. It will change others. You want to influence others. You want to create content that is valuable for others, something that people can get educated from, something that people can learn from, or it can just be pure entertainment and people can laugh at it. My videos that do really well are me like just working on my car and I mess up a lot. I don't know what I'm doing. People can relate to that because nobody really knows what they're doing. Overall, I mean, people do, but you know, everybody makes mistakes. People like to see mistakes. If you do everything perfect, they'll just be afraid when you're watching the video. You're like, there's no way I can do it perfect, because most people can't when they're in the beginning unless they're a trained professional. Also, biggest tip with YouTube, I recommend to just post your first video. If you want to get started, post your first video tomorrow. Just do an introduction video, get out there, right? A lot of people are like, oh, I gotta get this camera, I gotta get these tools, I'm just gonna wait till I get this lens to post this video. The camera equipment, the tools, they do not matter. It is the content and quality that matters. You have to be interesting, be informative, have a story, whatever it is behind it. If it's an iPhone, I am on an iPhone right now. People like when I shoot with my iPhone, and it has great audio, has everything I need. And my camera, I get complaints with the wind and stuff like that. Trust me, the equipment does not matter. We are not all rich from the start. This is just a hobby when you're beginning. Just get content out there, show people who you are. There are people with millions and millions of subscribers that still shoot with their iPhone, and people love it because it's real. Show the real you, show what you love to do, show your passion for what you do, and keep doing you. Be happy. People like to feel emotion. When you're happy, it'll make them happy. If you're smiling a lot, they will smile. It's just us humans and how it works out. So thank you everybody for watching this video. I really hope this helps some of you. I get so many DMs on these questions on how to blow up. These are just some of my tips and tricks. They might not work for everybody, but if you guys do this, I hope it'll help you out for your content and hopefully blowing up in the future. It still doesn't feel real that I have all these followers. It's just numbers on the screen really, but it can bring a lot of opportunities for you in your life. But yeah, please leave a comment down below and like this video. It helps me out a lot, and I will try to respond to every comment down below. Ask me whatever questions. I will try my best to respond to every single one. If you like, go check out my Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat. Everything is Kayla Rundle, like I mentioned in this video. You can do some research on like what I do between all of the platforms. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I can see you guys in the next video. Hopefully this video helped you out a little bit, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.